This is political science for class 11, and the topic that is chosen today is directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy, it means the directions, the guidelines, the instructions for the government to be followed for the welfare and upliftment of the people, especially the common people, poor people, weaker sections in the society. And these are the responsibilities of the government to be followed. And the aim is the welfare of the people. And this was introduced in our constitution by the framers of our constitution or the constituent assembly, okay, as certain guidelines providing positive economic justice to the people of our country. And they are mentioned in our constitution in part 4. Here one thing I would like to tell you, that these are non-justiciable. Non-justiciable means these guidelines depend upon the moral responsibility of the government and they do not have any legal force behind them. They may or may not be enforced by the government depending upon the will and wish and the availability of the resources. All right. And if we compare them with fundamental rights, they are having legal power behind them. They can be enforced, not can be, they have to be enforced, and the government has to see that they are exercised by the people. Okay, and they are the rights of the people, and directive principles are the responsibilities of the government. Both of them work for the people, but the directive principles are the responsibilities. Okay, they are from the government side for the people, and fundamental rights are also for the people, but the government also has to see that they are being exercised without any restriction. All right. Now we come to the goals of this, goals of the directive principles of state policy. Some of the goals are like this: to promote social, economic, and political justice to the people. That people are not having any kind of social injustice, economic injustice, or political injustice. Then to work for common good. Common good means the good, the welfare of all, not of a particular section of the society, and moreover, not the interest of the people of higher class to be fulfilled, but more attention is to be given for the welfare of the poor, common, and weaker people in the society. Then to raise the standard of living, okay, to see that people are having all the basic needs fulfilled and they live in a dignified manner. Then to see that the services, they are distributed equally. Okay, all the services are to be there for all the people, not ignoring any group, any caste, any type of people. Then these are for the people within the country, but they were aiming at wider level also. So they aim to provide international, not only provide, to promote international peace and brotherhood. So these are some of the goals of directive principles for the country itself and for other countries also, because we believe in universal brotherhood or Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Okay. Now, how are these to be implemented? By these policies, okay, in our country, because here the stress is, or here the aim is more of the upliftment of the poor and common people, and at community level, at village level, to uplift them. And this is possible by promoting cottage industries in villages, and by providing and promotion, or by seeing that village panchayats are also organized for the justice. Okay, so these are how the principles of directory policies or directory principles of state policies are implemented. Now we come to the next part of this, and that is, what type of directory principles do we have in our constitution? Some of them are like this, that the government, because don't forget that these are the responsibilities of the government to see these things. So the government should see or aim to minimize inequalities in income, to provide adequate means of livelihood, then to prevent the concentration of wealth in few hands only. It should not be so that few people are very rich and many people are very poor. Then equal pay for equal work, free legal and free legal aid, and equal justice. Justice, all the people are equal in the eyes of laws. Same treatment will be given, same justice will be done to a poor person as well as rich person. And for this, the judiciary is to be separated from executive. It means the judges are not the part of any of the other two organs of the government, legislature as well as executive, so that they give free, impartial and independent decision against any person. Then the government should see that the just and humane conditions or favorable conditions are there in workplace, where the people work, in factories, in mills, in business organizations, etc. Then to see that free and compulsory education is provided to the children, especially children between the age of 6 and 14. Then to promote the conditions of the people belonging to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs, other backward classes and weaker sections. Okay. And another thing is to provide assistance to the people of old age when they are not able to work. Then the government also supports, assists in different ways. Alright, so these are some of the types of directive principles, or the things to be seen and checked by the government. Now government, all the governments, no matter which political party forms the government, they try to fulfill these responsibilities or duties for the welfare of the people only, because the government formed is from the people only, by the people only and for the people only. So good people in the government, they try to see maximum directive principles that they can be, what they can look for the upliftment of the people. Now another topic is the difference between directive principles and fundamental rights. Meaning of these two things I have told you, but there is no harm in summing up them again. The difference between them is like this. Directive principles are non-justiciable. They cannot be challenged in the court. They depend upon the will and wish and availability of the resources. Okay, and the government, if the government can do this, can fulfill these things, fine. Otherwise we cannot force the government, but the government try to do this. Whereas the fundamental rights, they are seen by the Supreme Court and High Court, whether they are exercised, or if any person is deprived of any fundamental right, so the action is taken against the person who is not letting the people exercising any of the fundamental rights. Then directive principles, they provide socio-economic justice. They see that people are socially and economically well. Whereas fundamental rights, they are related to the civil liberties of the people. Then directive principles are positive in nature. Positive means the government should do, must do, can do, for the welfare of the people. Whereas fundamental rights are negative in nature. Negative does not mean wrong thing. Negative means a limit is, or a check is there, or a constraint is there on the part of the government that they cannot do this. Cannot come, they cannot ignore the fundamental rights of the people. So they are, in this way they are negative. Negative cannot, but both of them are for the welfare of the people only. Okay? And here the power is wider. Whose powers? The powers of directive principles, power of the government, because they, the government is not answerable in the court. Why this directive principle was not followed? It has an excuse कि due to the unavailability of the resources, this directive principle could not be seen. Whereas the fundamental rights are fixed. Why fixed? Because they have legal force behind them. They can put a question on the authority, and the Supreme Court and the High Court, or High Court and the Supreme Court, will take action against any person on any post or anywhere. Thank you.